G'day folks, yes, Bear here, out and about again. Just about every substation I go to, probably 90% of them, it's out on the flatlands, there's no hills, and it's always pretty hot. But today we're at somewhere a little bit different. Have a look at this. I don't stop shaking. Yeah, this is Cabramurra. And it's June, so lots of snow. Yeah, we'll have a bit of a look around when I get a chance. Righto. Yeah, this place it's not a substation, it's a switching station because there's no transformers. It's a junction to connect hydro stations to the state grid. It's called Upper Tumut, this one. Yeah, there are 8 lines coming into this switching station. 2 of them from Tumut 1 power station, 2 of them from Tumut 2 power station, and then there's 4 lines going out. I can't remember which one's which. There's Canberra, Yass, and then others to another switching station called Murray, down near a little place called Cancoban, and another switching station at Lower Tumut. So, yeah, it's about the most unusual about this place is, of course, it has 3 bus bars. There's an A and B bus, I think that's the A and B, and a reserve bus in the middle. So if you need to get a circuit breaker out for maintenance, you can put the line on the reserve bus, so you're not blacking people out basically. Yeah, it's sort of a good idea, but when it comes to bus bar protection, it becomes a nightmare because each feeder, well, you know, each line, there's CT contributions come out, and they used to go to a summation kiosk somewhere, but how do you change that over when you're swapping the line onto the reserve bus? And they used to have, I think it was in the actual isolator boxes, they'd switch the CT secondaries in there, which just fills me with dread, and apparently it was used to worry a lot of people. They've changed it now to what they call a low impedance scheme, where instead of all the CT contributions coming in to a box, which is probably gone, they all go into the relays inside, and there's also indications on each of the breakers and the isolators, so the relays inside know which each line's connected to, and it all does it numerically. It says, okay, that Canberra line, it's now on the reserve bus, and that's okay, so we'll add its contribution to anything else on the reserve bus, so it all works. It's a pretty complicated system, but it's pretty good. It took a long time to make and a long time to test, but no, it works pretty well. Yeah, just up at the lookout, Cabramurra, that's the township, whatever. Even though it's in the snow, it's not a ski resort, there's no ski lifts around here. This is a working town. There's people, working on the snowy hydro. Some of them live here. I don't know how many, but yeah, so it's a pretty good view from up here. I'll just swing around. Oh, there's a tree, yeah. Go round. Oh, there's my truck, yeah, okay. And back there we go. Hey, no, it looks pretty cool. You get a good view of a lot of places. Yeah, a little while ago the government made a big announcement, big hoo-ha, Snowy 2.0, which is an augmentation of the Snowy Hydro scheme. What it involves is Tantangra Dam that way, 16 miles, whatever that is, and Talbingo down that way, reservoir, dam. What they want to do is build a pipeline, goes across and then drops straight out, and they have an underground power station, supposedly 2,000 megawatts, and then it goes across, I'm showing this, to Talbingo, but it's also a pumping station, so the idea is generate down during the day, pump back up at night. The whole idea of this is, so Australia's really turned to renewables, solar, wind. Trouble is, sun don't shine at night, wind doesn't blow all the time. So when it is shining and blowing, what do you do with the power? And that's the idea. They're going to have heaps of solar all over the state. It's just going berserk. And they're going to use that power to pump the water back up the hill so they can run it down at night, which is sort of the opposite of how pumped hydro works. It'd run down during the day and use coal-fired to pump it back up at night. So sort of the opposite, but I hope it works. She's a pretty big scheme they're talking about. I was looking through the details and oh yeah, it's going to take a lot of doing. That's about it really for up here, so we're going to have a look at something else. Yeah, we're here between, I'm on the way back to Cabramurra. Cabramurra's up that way, and there's T1 power station up over way to Buggery, and outfall of it goes to a dam, T2 dam over that way, which then goes into a tunnel right underneath us down to, I think, T2 power stations, just about pretty much directly under, about 200 metres underground here. And that gadget there, spillway thing, that's a surge. Surge tank, not a tank or outlet. So the water's coming down the pipeline. Say something happens at T2, trips are out, we've got to shut the water off, so instead of the water smashing everything to pieces, it pops out there and goes down the spillway down the creek. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear water rushing, but I don't know whether it's coming from that or down in the creek way down there. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this picture gives you a bit of an idea of where everything works. That's T1 power station underground. Cabramurra's probably about there. Water comes in from God knows where. Down through T1, goes into Tumut Pondage up the one just up the road. Down through the tunnel into T2, that surge thing's probably about there. T2, which is just behind me, it's underground. It comes out of there in that tower race. I'll show you. Into, I've got to work this out, Talbingo Reservoir, which is going to be the one connected to Tantangro, which is somewhere in this map. Oh, way back up here, Tantangro, there we are. So that will be connected to that. There, with another big, it'll come along, go along, drop down into there, pump it back up. Here from Talbingo, there's T3, which is a big power station, about 1500 meg hydro. It's also a pumping station, and it flows down into Junima Pondage, which goes up and down as they generate. They'll generate during the day and then pump it back up into Talbingo at night. Since this sign was made, there's actually another little hydro fitted just there. It's only a couple of megawatts or something, and then there's blowering. So the water that starts out up here somewhere and this way goes through 5 hydro stations, and they squeeze every bit of electricity out of that water they can, because once it gets down past here to the Tumut River, she's gone, can't get it back. Yeah, this is the entrance to Tumut 2 power station, like the sign says. Yeah, can't see much here. Big tunnel goes way down inside the mountain to the power station. Never been in there, but yeah, be pretty cool to go for a look though one day if I get there. Yeah, this is just another sign showing how the configuration T2. You know, you got your pressure pipes coming in, generator hall, machine hall, transformers, tail race going out. That's the tunnel going out, which pops out right behind me. Don't know whether that is a surge tank or something or other, but yeah, she's what's it say, 280 megawatts, which was probably a lot for 1962. It's not much these days. I think one unit at T3 is nearly as big as the whole of T2 station. So yeah. It's just the plaque outside. Opened, was it not say, 5th of May 1962 by the Honourable R.G. Menzies. Yeah, so she's pretty old. This is nearly old as me, this thing. I was born in 61, so yeah, still ticking away. Yeah, this is actually the tail race of T2 power station. This side, that's the Tumut River, and the other side's the outfall from the power station. So, and this goes in, this is the very top end of Talbingo Dam. So yeah, the dam's a bit low, you can see where it usually sits. So yeah, the water there is coming out of the middle of a mountain. Yeah, this map here gives a pretty good overview of everything. That's Cabramurra, well Cabra's up here somewhere, there down here. That's the switching station. Come down here, You can see there's the pressure tunnel. Down to T2, that surge thing is about there. Goes into T2, then the tail race comes out. Down here, like it says, we're here. Tail race comes out for our Hares Crossing, campground. They call it Sioux City. I don't know why they call it that, but that's it. And that's that outflow into the Tumut River, Talbingo Reservoir, and then off she goes. Oh, there you have it, folks. A bit of an overview. Pretty rough old overview, but yeah, just some of the stuff I work on and see travelling around the countryside. It's pretty good. I better get going. It's getting pretty cold in here. Once that sun gets a bit on the mountain, ooh, she gets real chilly. I'll catch you later. See ya.